Read one book a day, and tonight we're diving into To the Lighthouse. Do you also have a small, almost obsessive wish hidden in your heart? It might be a long unfulfilled promise, a relationship that never got resolved, or a destination you've been waiting ages to reach. We always think there's plenty of time, that these wishes can be put on hold for a while. But in the blink of an eye, time slips away, and some people and things are never the same again, leaving only full regret and melancholy. The work we're sharing with you tonight holds the answers about wishes, time, and reconciliation. It comes from Virginia Woolf, an iconic figure in British modernist literature, a classic that depicts the essence of life through stream of consciousness writing. To the Lighthouse. To understand this book, we first need to step into that coastal villa in the Hebrides Islands of Scotland, into the world of the Ramsay family. The core characters of the story are inseparable from Mr. and Mrs. Ramsay, their young son James, and Lily Briscoe, the dedicated painter. Their fates unfold slowly around the simple yet heavy wish of going to the lighthouse. Let's start with Mrs. Ramsay. She is undoubtedly the soul of this villa. If you've ever met someone who radiates warmth naturally, you can probably picture her. Gentle and tolerant, she can always keenly perceive the emotional fluctuations of those around her, using just the right amount of care to maintain harmony in the family and social circle. In her world, the happiness of her family and the peace of her friends are far more important than her own needs. Behind this is her ultimate pursuit of harmony and connection. She longs to use her own strength to weave all the fragmented emotions and distant relationships around her into a warm net. For example, she notices the shyness between Paul and Minta, who have just fallen in love, and quietly creates opportunities for them to spend time together. When her friend William Banks feels lonely and desolate, she takes the initiative to talk to him, dispelling his loneliness. Mr. Ramsay, however, is in stark contrast to her. As a renowned scholar, he is rational, rigorous, and even somewhat obstinately stubborn. He has spent his entire life pursuing the certainty of knowledge, believing in the power of logic and reason. Yet he is extremely insensitive to the emotional world. In his view, personal emotions and wishes are insignificant. Only objective truth is worth pursuing. This worldview makes him seem particularly distant, even cold, in the family. It's not that he doesn't love his family, he just doesn't know how to express it emotionally. His love is hidden in his commitment to family responsibilities and his plans for his children's future, but it lacks a touch of warmth. Young James is the brightest ray of innocence at the start of the story. The opening of the story is set on a summer afternoon before World War I. Sunlight filters through the villa's windows, casting dappled shadows on the floor. The young James sits by the window, his eyes fixed intently on the lighthouse in the distance on the sea, filled with longing. To him, that lighthouse is more than just a building. It's a magical land of dreams, hiding unknown scenery and the freedom to break free from adult constraints. He takes his mother's hand and asks softly but firmly, "Mummy, can we go to the lighthouse tomorrow?" At this moment, James is full of expectation, firmly believing that his mother will fulfill his wish. Looking into her son's bright eyes, Mrs. Ramsay's heart softens. She looks up at the sky outside the window. The clouds are thick, but she still gently strokes James's head and says softly, "Perhaps if the weather is nice tomorrow." She doesn't mean to deceive him. She just doesn't want to shatter the child's dream with cold reality. In her opinion, protecting this innocence is more important than telling the so-called truth. But just then, Mr. Ramsay's voice breaks this warmth. He walks out of the study, his brows furrowed, his tone firm and unquestionable. "No, we definitely can't go tomorrow." His judgment is based on rigorous logic. The wind direction is wrong. The weather is about to turn bad, and sailing to the lighthouse is simply unrealistic. In his perception, this is just a statement based on facts, but he doesn't notice James' eyes dimming instantly, nor the grievance and resentment that surge in his heart at that moment. James' heart must be filled with anger at this moment. Why is father so cruel to shatter my dream? Why does he never consider my feelings? This resentment, like a seed, is quietly planted in his heart. Watching this scene, Mrs. Ramsay feels helpless. She understands her husband's character and knows he doesn't mean to hurt the child, but she also pities her son's disappointment. She walks to James again, hugs him gently, and comforts him with soft words. "It's okay. We'll have a chance to go when the weather is nice." Her voice is soft, yet it carries a reassuring power that temporarily calms the waves in James's heart. Amidst the emotional entanglement of this family, the painter Lily Briscoe stands not far away, holding a brush, trying to capture this moment. Lily is a woman dedicated to art. She longs to depict the unique temperament of Mrs. Ramsay with her brush, the warmth mixed with unwavering radiance. But her creation is not going smoothly. One moment she worries that she can't paint well enough to show Mrs. Ramsay's essence. The next, she is distracted by the surrounding sounds, her thoughts interrupted. Watching the interaction between Mr. and Mrs. Ramsay, she is filled with confusion. Why is their way of getting along so contradictory? One is extremely emotional, the other extremely rational, yet they can somehow depend on each other. That night, a dinner party is held at the villa. Woolf uses delicate brushstrokes to depict the various characters at the dinner party. Mrs. Ramsay bustles around, carefully attending to each guest's needs, preparing suitable food for the vegetarian Lily, finding topics for the silent Banks, and trying to diffuse the awkwardness at the table. She is like a dancer, moving nimbly between various relationships to maintain surface harmony. Mr. Ramsay, however, falls into deep thought halfway through the dinner, with academic questions constantly popping into his mind, making him seem out of place amidst the surrounding liveliness. Halfway through the dinner, the wind outside gradually picks up, and the sound of waves crashing against the rocks is clearly audible. James sits in the corner, occasionally looking out the window, still thinking about the wish to go to the lighthouse. Watching his mother's busy figure, he feels full of dependence. Then looking at his father's serious expression, a trace of resentment can't help but arise. He doesn't understand why his father is always so insensitive, why he can't give him a little more warmth like his mother. During the intermission of the dinner, Lily picks up her brush again, trying to continue her creation. But looking at the vague outline on the canvas, she suddenly feels a wave of self-doubt. Can I really capture Mrs. Ramsay's charm? Am I overreaching myself? This doubt makes her put down her brush and fall into silence again. She looks at the people at the dinner party, each wearing a mask, carefully maintaining social rules, and suddenly feels a sense of loneliness. So even in a crowd, we are still lonely individuals. This is the first part of the novel, the window. Woolf uses the window as a metaphor. Through this window, we see the emotional connections and conflicts between the characters and their deepest desires and anxieties. The changing weather outside the window is like their emotional fluctuations. The warmth and alienation inside the window are a microcosm of social relationships at that time. In this part, the wish of going to the lighthouse is temporarily put on hold, yet it is like an invisible thread that connects the fates of all the characters. Next, we enter the second part of the novel, Time Passes. This is the shortest part of the book, yet the most heartbreaking. If the rhythm of the first part is slow and delicate, then the rhythm of this part is hasty and cold. Woolf uses extremely concise brushstrokes to skip 10 whole years, and those 10 years are exactly the years when World War I raged. That coastal villa, once full of laughter and joy, is now desolate and quiet. The windows are tightly closed, the curtains faded, dust covers the furniture, and cobwebs have formed in the corners. The flowers that once bloomed in the yard have long since withered. The once lively dining table is now empty. The waves still crash against the rocks, but there is a touch more sadness in the sound. Woolf does not directly describe the cruelty of the war, but indirectly shows the destruction of life and life by the war through the changes of the villa. During these 10 years, tragedies happen one after another. Mrs. Ramsay, that woman as gentle as light, passes away due to illness. Her departure is like a light being extinguished, plunging all those who relied on her into darkness. The harmonious relationships she worked so hard to maintain during her lifetime also gradually collapse with her passing. Soon after, Andrew, the eldest daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ramsay, is killed in the war. Their youngest daughter, Prue, dies in childbirth due to dystocia. In just 10 years, the Ramsay family loses 3 close relatives, and the once complete family is shattered. At this moment, Mr. Ramsay finally feels an unprecedented loneliness. Once, he was indulged in academics, ignoring the emotional needs of his family. Now, when the people around him pass away one by one, he realizes how precious the warmth he once ignored is. He often sits alone in the empty villa, looking out at the lighthouse, and images of Mrs. Ramsay constantly emerge in his mind. He begins to reflect on his life. What have I been pursuing all my life? Are those so-called truths really more important than family companionship? This regret engulfs him like a tide. James, on the other hand, grows up gradually during these 10 years. The death of his mother and the passing of his elder sister and brother make him quickly shed his innocence and become silent and introverted. His resentment towards his father has not faded with the passage of time. On the contrary, it has become more complex due to the family changes. He both resents his father's past coldness and pities his current loneliness. He still remembers the wish to go to the lighthouse when he was a child. But now, this wish has become a nostalgia for the past, missing the once warm home and the gentle mother. Lily Briscoe also experiences a lot during these 10 years. She still persists in her painting career, but has never been able to finish that portrait of Mrs. Ramsay. Every time she picks up her brush, images of Mrs. Ramsay's smile and the appearance of that coastal villa emerge in her mind. The wall makes her see the fragility of life and also makes her think more deeply about art. What is the meaning of art? In such a turbulent era, why should we persist in creating? In this part, Woolf uses a lot of inner monologues and symbolic techniques to show the ruthlessness of time and the fragility of life. Time is like a ruthless carving knife, changing everything. It destroys the warm family, takes away precious lives, and smooths out the edges and corners of people. But at the same time, time also leaves something behind. The fragments of love and memory still shine brightly in people's hearts. Just like that lighthouse, no matter how many storms it endures, it still stands on the sea level, becoming a spiritual sustenance in people's hearts. Finally, we come to the third part of the novel, The Lighthouse. After the end of World War I, Mr. Ramsay makes a decision to take James and their youngest daughter Cam to the lighthouse by boat. This wish, which was delayed for 10 years, is finally going to be fulfilled. On the day of departure, the weather is exceptionally clear. The sun shines on the sea, sparkling. James stands on the boat, looking at the lighthouse in the distance, his mood complicated. He is both looking forward and nervous. He looks forward to finally being able to reach that long-awaited place. He is nervous because he will have to spend a long time alone with his father. Over the years, there has always been a gap between him and his father, and he doesn't know if this journey can bridge that gap. The boat slowly leaves the shore. Mr. Ramsay sits at the bow, his eyes firmly fixed on the direction of the lighthouse. At this moment, he is no longer the scholar who only knows rational thinking, but a father eager to make up for the past. He looks at James beside him, wanting to say something, but doesn't know where to start. His heart is full of guilt. I hurt you so much in the past. Can you forgive me? During the voyage, the sea gradually becomes rough. The boat starts to toss, and Cam feels a little scared, clinging tightly to James's hand. James instinctively protects his sister, and at this moment, he suddenly feels a sense of responsibility. He looks at his father and finds that he is trying hard to stabilize the direction of the boat, with sweat on his forehead. He suddenly realizes that his father is not as cold and ruthless as he imagined. He also has moments of vulnerability and his own helplessness. Maybe he just doesn't know how to express love, James thinks to himself. Once this thought arises, the resentment that has been pent up in his heart slowly melts like ice and snow. He remembers when he was a child, although his father rarely treated him gently, he always silently prepared the things he needed. He remembers that after his mother passed away, his father alone took on the responsibility of the family, supporting this broken home. At the same time, Lily Briscoe also returns to that coastal villa. She picks up that brush that has been put aside for 10 years and starts creating again. This time, she no longer hesitates or doubts herself. Looking at the sea view outside the window and the familiar everything in the villa, Mrs. Ramsay's appearance clearly emerges in her mind. She understands that what she wants to paint is not just Mrs. Ramsay's appearance, but the warm and tolerant spiritual temperament in her, the beauty that still persists in the turbulent years. When the boat finally arrives at the lighthouse, James stands at the foot of the lighthouse and looks up. He finds that the lighthouse is not as perfect as he imagined. Its exterior is somewhat weathered, even shabby. But at this moment, he suddenly feels relieved. It turns out that the so-called destination is not necessarily perfect. What matters is that in the process of pursuing it, he has achieved reconciliation with himself and his father. Mr. Ramsay walks to James's side and pats him on the shoulder. There are no excessive words, but this simple action speaks louder than 1,000 words. James turns to look at his father and shows a long-lost smile. At this moment, the gap between father and son disappears completely. They stand under the lighthouse, looking at the distant sea, their hearts full of peace and tranquility. And Lily Briscoe also finishes her painting at this moment. When she puts down her brush and looks at the work on the canvas, her heart is full of satisfaction. She finally paints what she wants and also finds the meaning of art. Art is a weapon against time, a way to preserve memories. Even as time passes and life fades away, those beautiful moments can still be passed down forever through art. Woolf uses delicate detailed sketches to create a peaceful and warm atmosphere for us. The light of the lighthouse, the sparkling waves on the sea, and the light and shadow in the villa are all depicted vividly by her. The contrast between the characters, the transformation of James from resentment to reconciliation, the change of Mr. Ramsay from coldness to gentleness, and Lily's growth from self-doubt to firm confidence, all enhance the dramatic tension of the story. When the Ramsay family arrives at the lighthouse and Lily finishes her painting, the story of To the Lighthouse reaches its conclusion. But this ending is not a simple fulfillment of a wish, but a profound awakening about life, time, and self. Through this story, Woolf puts forward a core proposition to us. In the tide of time, how should we place our lives? In a turbulent era, how should we find our spiritual home? The deep theme of this book is hidden in the core symbol of the lighthouse. The lighthouse is not just a geographical coordinate, but also a spiritual symbol. It represents the ideals and hopes in our hearts, the spiritual strength that supports us through difficult years. In the journey of life, each of us is pursuing our own lighthouse. It may be an ideal career, a sincere relationship, or the realization of self-worth. But the process of pursuit is often full of hardships and setbacks. We will encounter rational obstacles like Mr. Ramsay, experience unexpected changes like time passes, and fall into self-doubt like Lily. What Woolf wants to tell us is that the meaning of pursuing the lighthouse does not lie in whether we can finally reach it, but in the process of pursuit itself. Just like James, although he arrived at the lighthouse 10 years late, in this process, he achieved reconciliation with his father and realized his own growth. Just like Lily, although she finished her painting 10 years late, In this process, she found the meaning of art and achieved self-identification. Although time can destroy many things, it can also make us more mature and more aware of how to cherish. This book has a strong practical enlightenment for us modern people. In this fast-paced and high-pressure era, each of us inevitably feels anxious, confused, and empty. We always pursue quick success and instant gratification, but ignore the process of life itself. We always complain about the unsatisfactoriness of life, but forget to stop and reconcile with ourselves and the people around us. Just like Mr. Ramsay, who once indulged in the results of academics, but ignored the warmth of the family. Just like the young James, who clung to the wish of going to the lighthouse, but let resentment occupy his heart. Through To the Lighthouse, Woolf tells us, the essence of life is not to pursue a perfect ending, but to learn to reconcile with ourselves, others, and the past in the passage of time. Those past regrets, resentments, and confusions can all be gradually resolved in the process of growth. We don't need to be in a hurry, nor do we need to be harsh on ourselves. As long as we keep our original intention and move forward step by step, we will surely find our own lighthouse. At the same time, this book also explores the relationship between art and life. In a turbulent era, art may not be able to change the cruelty of reality, but it can become a spiritual refuge for us. Just like Lily's painting, it preserves the warmth of Mrs. Ramsay and the memories of those years, becoming a force against time and death. For us modern people, whether it is painting, music, literature, or any other form of art, it can become a way for us to release emotions and find ourselves. In the world of art, we can temporarily escape the pressure of reality and find inner peace and tranquility. In addition, the opposition and complementarity between emotion and reason, represented by Mr. and Mrs. Ramsay in the book, also give us a lot of enlightenment. In real life, we need both Mr. Ramsay's rationality and rigor to deal with various problems in life. We also need Mrs. Ramsay's emotion and gentleness to maintain interpersonal relationships and feel the beauty of life. Only by balancing emotion and reason can we have a complete and fulfilling life. To the Lighthouse is like a gentle light, illuminating our path forward in the middle of the night. It makes us understand that life is a long pursuit. There is no need to rush to reach the end, nor to blame the regrets along the way. Those unfulfilled wishes, unresolved resentments, and unfinished growth can all find answers in the precipitation of time. What matters is that we should live every moment earnestly with love and courage, cherish the people around us, and hold fast to the lighthouse in our hearts. No summary can replace the original work. Good book is worth reading page by page. Good night, and wish you a sound sleep tonight. I'm time for bed. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to our next encounter